Hey there, I've been seeing this a lot lately, so I wanted to hop on and make a quick video. Are you a company that's about to get some investment, but your investor is asking you for an ESG certificate or certification? Then this video is for you. All right, so I've got a couple questions you need to ask right away when you see this. So, oftentimes in the letter that the investor sends you of things you need to gather before you send back, it may say you need an ESG certificate. So, question one is, what particular certificate do you need? So some may say, we don't care. Or some may say, we really like to see EcoVadis, for example. Or we want to see that you've had a third party take a look at your company and do an ESG certification or certify an ESG score, for example. So that's one. What do they need? Second one is time frame. Is it enough that you've just started down the path of ESG by the time the investor invests? Or do you have to have it all done? Because sometimes, for example, EcoVadis takes about 9 weeks right now to have an analyst even give you a certification or a score, but you still need some work to get done to put things into the EcoVadis tool. So, two, timeline. Three is, what does your company already have? Do you already have an environmental policy? Do you already have human rights policies? What pieces of the pie do you already have, and what are you missing? So that's typically what I ask people when I first talk to them and they're looking for some help getting ESG ready before an investment is made in their company. So, again, to dive a little deeper into what is needed, remember it could be as simple as a third party coming and taking a look at ESG across your company. Maybe they have their own questionnaire you could fill out quickly in Excel, for example. Like maybe it's not this big thing, maybe it's just a quick snapshot. Or maybe it is a certification or a framework that you need to report in. So, just on the screen, there's a few examples here. You might recognize them. I already talked about EcoVadis, for example. There's an ISO certification. There's a few other ones too. Or over on the other side, there's GRI, or the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosure. So that's why it's important to ask what will be sufficient to satisfy these ESG terms in this investment contract. If they're okay with anything, then I would demonstrate what you're about to get done through a consultant, for example, and make sure they're okay with it before you go ahead. So, to simplify what you're going to be asked for, we talked about what would you need to certify, but what kind of stuff does an ESG review or certification look at? Well, let's go through it. It's ESG, so environmental stuff. Usually it looks at energy, water, waste, greenhouse gas emissions, non-greenhouse gas emissions, land encroachment, circular design, and even sustainable procurement. Then we'll move to the S. It could be health and safety. It could be wages. It could be diversity, equity, and inclusion, anything around terms or contracts for your employees. And then in governance, it could be, having a whistleblower policy, for example, or making sure that the CEO is not paid XYZ more than the lowest paid employee. It could be the makeup of your board. And then finally, what positive impacts do you have on the community through your services or through your product? And so those are typically the things that you look at when you're getting some help to see how you're doing across ESG or certifying an ESG. And they look at policies, data, measures or actions, and even reporting and targets. So maybe you're watching this video because you do have an investor interested, and in the fine print, there's this ESG thing that you're not sure about. So feel free to reach out to This Rock anytime. If you're not getting an investment yet at your company, just know that this trend is happening more and more. And you might want to get an understanding of your ESG score today and start putting together some policies and data, because your investors, bankers, customers, and even employees are going to start to ask what your business is doing for sustainability. It's not going away. All right. I hope this video was helpful. Again, my name is Lindsay Hampson. I'm the founder of This Rock Incorporated. We're an ESG and sustainability consulting firm, and we help businesses all over figure out ESG, start a strategy, and sometimes we can even join your team in a fractional way as you ramp up into sustainability. All right. Been nice. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great week. See you later. Should I be more focused on what he wanted to go? If I die right now, a lot
have a few regrets. Wish I spent more time out biking instead of smoking cigarettes.